and foremost, there's already a lot of work that the National Assembly have done in terms of very innovative provisions that are put in the Nigerian Correctional Service Act of 2019. And I'm just going to give some very few examples, which if we truly implement, we will not be where we are. Number one, Mr. Chair, you will recognize that when you look at Section 12, subsection 4 to 12 of the Nigerian Correctional Service Act of 2019, it gives us a safety net which will help control the number of persons who are in custody. Mr. Chair, as you know, all the correctional centers in this country have capacities. You already have mentioned many of those. And it is about 30 of those correctional centers that are overstretched. And that is why, until we do certain things very more radical in terms of managing our waiting trials, it becomes problematic. Because the Controller General, as we know, can move somebody from the custodial center that is overcrowded to the one that is not overcrowded. The same thing for the zonal coordinators, the same thing for the state controllers within the vicinity. However, when the person is awaiting trial, when it's, the person has not been convicted, it becomes problematic in terms of logistics. So when you look at Section 12, subsection 4 to 12, it gives you practical things that the superintendent in charge of the custodial center should do. One, as soon as you see that that population is going up, you activate an early warning signal, notify the chief judge, notify the attorney general, and many of the other agencies listed there. And you have 3 months. As the law has said it, 3 months in which something must be done, and the things that will be done are also enshrined there. Part of those are things like non-custodial provision that have been mentioned. I think that if we activate that section, we will not be where we are. I think one thing can do. Number two, Mr. Chair, you will notice that there are clear provisions in terms of what needs to happen. I know somebody have mentioned in terms of the fact that certain facilities are already overreached by the population. That is also provided for. Section 9. Let me quickly go to a more critical thing because it really pains my heart, and I'm sure yours and many of Nigerians to hear what happened on the 5th of July 2020. So, there is 2 years after the signing of the Nigerian Correctional Service Act of 2019 to law, which was done on the 31st of July. Section 28, subsection 1 to 3 is clear. If you look at it, Mr. Chair, you will see it clearly says what we need to do in terms of security. If we can take this as an emergency and begin to do it, we will not be where we are. Now, finally, because you already have the solution and I can go on and on, but finally, if you look at the whole of Part 2 of the Nigerian Correctional Service Act of 2019, it's all about non-custodial measures. Section 34, 7, sub 1, sends you the 5th option. But how can we have more custodial measures? Something the whole of Africa is celebrating Nigeria for, and there is not adequate funding for it. So I think, yes, I've seen some of the work that the Nigerian Correctional Service are doing, and they must be commended. We have, just last week, over 14,000 that have been processed through non-custodial measures. But without funding, it can't help us. My final comment is this. There are 3 major categories of people who we find in custody. And it's important that we remember it each time we think about these issues. 1, those who are innocent, they have no business paying that. We must do everything to make them dodge. Secondly, the minor offenders. Those minor offenders, we need to find very practical ways, including non-custodial, to deal with them. Thirdly, those who are highly criminals. And each of these categories, even if it's 1 day or 1 hour you spend in custody, you will have problem because of socialization into criminal life. And we know it is not only correctional services that have detention facilities. We have 19 institutions in this country that keep people. And yet, we do not have nobody, no agency, no individual, no the total number of persons who are in custody in Nigeria at a particular time, except the statistics you have in the Nigerian Correctional Service. We can't plan that way. We can't move forward that way. But I believe there's a lot that we can do. You have heard from the Honorable Attorney General of the Federation, the comments and the things that they are doing, which is also commended. But we need to work as a team. Different agencies, different organizations, and there are a lot of development partners that are willing to make it. Nigeria should lead, and Nigeria ought to lead. The whole of Africa is looking up to us, and there are very practical things we can do. Mr. Chair, let me stop here, but I'm sure you will see that there are already a lot of legal framework to drive this process. Even if you look at Section 10, I just wanted to mention that when you talked about risks and needs assessment and rehabilitation, information and integration, the processes are there. But let us not be tough, because if we don't, what it means, you do all of this beautiful work and nothing happens. Next time I still talking to grammar. It is time to move beyond grammar. And I believe there is enough partnership, enough goodwill to make it happen. And we already started here. Thank you again for this invitation. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you.